Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the RockyMounts Backstage 2-bike platform rack on our 2016 Mazda CX-9. Now, if you're looking a way of getting your heavier bikes up on the car with you, this is going to be a great option. With a 60-pound capacity limit, as you can see, we can get our e-bikes up on here, our heavier bikes and our fat tire bikes, and even our carbon frame bikes. And we'll break that down a little bit, but as you can see with our e-bikes up on here today, make sure you're removing that battery pack. We don't want to have that on the bike rack as it can hurt our bikes, our bike rack, and our vehicles. So let's just go ahead and take it off and throw it in the back of our car. Now, this is going to be a great system if you want to get access to your hatch, as we have a lot of maneuverability with the rack as well, as we'll break down, but also not, really losing anything in terms of capacity, as we talked about before, and a lot of versatility of getting a multitude of bikes on here. Taking a look at the platform itself, you can see very nice, stable platform here, and taking a look, we have some easy ratchet strap systems to actually keep our wheels onto our rack here today. And take a look at the cradle itself. You see that we have this inner groove here. That's going to be great for our standard tires, some of our mountain bike tires. You can see, going to have a nice little kind of beveled edge here for those bigger mountain bikes and those fat tire bikes. And of course, just a wide base to actually fit those fat tires. One thing I like about it too, it doesn't carve in too hard on the side here, so we're going to fit most of those tires in. And a great thing that RockyMounts has done for us today, they've actually gone ahead and thrown in that fat tire adapter for us right away. They know we want to be utilizing those big bikes, so you can see that's getting us just that much more coverage. I mean, look, we can get those giant tires up in here, so it's great that RockyMounts knows that we want to utilize those right away. Then taking a look at the ratchet arm system itself, as you can see, once we get that up, all we have to do is simply press this blue lever to raise our arm, and then go ahead and ratchet down on off the back in the front of our wheel. As you can see here, going to be nice and secure of actually getting it down, and to actually release it, we will have to hit that lever to slide it up. Otherwise, not going to be able to move it. So it's going to keep our bike nice and secured to our rack, and very easy to collapse down when it's not in use. Tucks away quite nicely. And taking a look at the front cradle here, this is just kind of rotating arm for the front of our wheel. Going to be great of not allowing that wheel to kind of spin. A lot of times with those platform racks, with those front wheel systems, you start having still a little bit of play. So it's nice that I can fit that right inside of here, and we're going to go ahead and still add to our stability. So another great option with this guy is its versatility. It's got a lot of great options. And of course, you probably already noticed all these blue little levers all over it. That's going to be great for us to see how to actually access our system, maybe when it's dark at night or it's cold, and it's way easier just to find it that it is a different cover on this black platform. So to go ahead and actually access our tilt away function, the first step that we're going to do is go ahead and pull that blue lever. It's going to start dropping this down towards us. As you can see, I'm just supporting the mast, especially when you get some heavier bikes on here. That might be a little harder to do, but B, we don't want that crashing and hurting our bike rack. So definitely supporting that as we go. But what's great about this, as you can see, I can come in here to my Mazda, I can go ahead and pop that hatch, and I can go ahead and already grab in here. Then this is going to be great for any quick access. I can reach in here, grab anything I need for my coolers, those helmets, anything I might have in this spacious Mazda CX-9, I can go ahead and grab, so that's great. However, maybe we have a big cooler that we want to get out. Already we're kind of in a little bit of tight jam, so let's see what we can actually do to make that just a little bit easier on ourselves. So again, the tilt-away feature, great for a little quick access into the back of our hatch. However, it's not the only trick that we have up our sleeve today. Be sure to support that mast as you're going up, and keep in mind, as you're getting heavier and heavier bikes on here, you are adding to the weight, so just be mindful of yourself as you lift it. And to start this swing away process, taking a look at the bottom end here, we actually have this blue lever. Now all this does is simply bring our assembly in line with itself once it's actually secured, and all we have to do for that is actually to tighten that clockwise. But to undo it, we go counterclockwise, and go ahead and using that other end just to get a little bit of leverage can help, because we want to make sure that's nice and tight when we go down the road, and spinning that out until it's loose. I think that'll probably do us. And then in the back end here, we do have this blue little knob that we want to grab, and that's going to actually start our decoupling. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and start spinning away. And once we're entirely free, we can just kind of grab on one of these arms here and start spinning away as we go. And coming in here on this blue knob, making sure that that's going to head and pivot out for us as well. Going to be great of actually swinging this away. As you can see, that's going to lock in, and we can counter pivot as we move, just swinging that arm. You're going to hear them both lock like that. And look at this. I mean, we've already got that bike completely out of the way. Now we can do anything we need to actually, if we want to access that bike as well. And then we can come in here and open up our hatch. Now this is great, as we mentioned. Yes, we can get in, we can get quick, but now if I have a big heavy cooler, I'm not fighting with the bike. I'm not worried about where it is. I mean, I can walk around the entire thing. Just keep in mind, this is at your shin level, so don't be tripping on it as you walk up. However, look at this. I mean, you're getting just free hands of use to actually get in our hatch. So I think the swing away pretty much speaks for itself. You have a few other options that have that out there for you, but I love how the RockyMounts does it and how easy it is to use. And to bring it back, all we want to do is pull this blue knob again to start that swing, and we can start bringing this in. Now keep in mind too, as you start swinging in, I want to be utilizing any of your frames itself to pull it in too heavy. I'd still try to keep it to our arms here as we walk it forward. Let me go ahead and actually spin that around. I don't know why she's fighting with me right now. Go ahead and just kind of spin her in, and she'll start counter rotating. Once I pull this little pin there we go. A little bit of a user error right there. And you see, you want to make sure that that pin is actually coming undone to start the decoupling again. And then we'll just click it in place. You'll hear this pin drop right in place for us. And then once we actually get this assembly back set in its prior form, I'm going to come back down to our blue lever, make sure we're nice and lined up. You can see it's clicking in place there, and just spinning it down until we're nice and secure. So this is great. It's very easy to use, very easy to see. The only thing that kind of stinks about it, you are getting a little bit below here. So as you can see, I'm already lower. Now we are sitting a little low on the Mazda, so that's something to keep in mind. If you had this on a bigger vehicle, definitely not going to be out of your wheelhouse. Now take a look at the assembly too. Quick thing I wanted to point out. You can see you have this little post here with this locking core on it. That's going to be great. We actually do have some cable locks included with this, but if you also want to pick some up on your own, we can go ahead and string some cable locks through here, getting us a nice point of contact, and that locking core is going to make sure that our bikes are staying to our rack when we leave them unattended. Now with any hitch mounted accessory, we are going to add some length to our vehicle. So let's go ahead and get that measurement real quick here in a second. Keep in mind, and let's go ahead and take a look to the end here and to the very end of that knob. Looks like we're at 31.5 inches. So again, you are getting a little bit of length here. However, once we go ahead and take the bike off, we'll show you how you can kind of condense that down. But for two platforms, it's definitely not that far out of range of our vehicle. So I don't think we'll have too many issues moving with this guy in the back end. So let's go ahead and actually see about getting this bike off. As we mentioned with these ratcheting straps, all we have to do, that blue little lever is going to push in, allowing us to ratchet out and pull our strap to the other side. And repeating the process over here, we want to go ahead and grab onto our frame. Make sure we're not tilting into the vehicle as we go, tilting back towards ourselves. And all we have to do is press in on this lever, like so, and raise up on our arm. If she'll work with me here. There we go. You'll hear that little click. And you can swing it out, and then just keeping it up and tall, swinging it out all the way. That way we don't have anything our way as we want to dismount this. So go ahead and get a stable hand on there, and we want to go ahead and just lift straight off, and we're ready to hit the trail. Now I think the only issue you're going to really have with your dismount is how heavy of a bike you actually put on there. Our e-bike is a little bit heavy, as you saw. Already a little winded from it, but I think that's going to be the biggest issue. But I mean, that's why we have those big bikes, right? We want to take them out, and this guy is going to get them there. So, as we talked about before, we do have a little bit of a length added here. However, we still have a few tricks up our sleeve to actually condense that length down. So let's go ahead and see how we do that. Remember this blue lever from before to actually tilt us down? Well, it's actually being used just to tilt us back up and away at the same time. Now here's where I'd make sure that those arms are going to be nice and secured to the inside of our rack. As you can see, as we're going down the road, I don't think we're going to have any issues with this actually hitting our vehicle. One thing I love about how this system works, there's no pins to replace. I don't have to be like, oh, did I remember to put that safety clip in? It's very ease of use of mine. I can just get it in, it'll click itself, and it won't move until I'm there to actually move it. So it's always nice to have that. And let's go ahead and see how much length we've actually shaved down. Taking a look from the rear of the bumper here, into the end of our lever looks to be our longest point, and at 14 inches is definitely shaving down a lot of weight. That platform is great, very stable, but it does add a little bit of length, so it's nice that we can go ahead and actually put this up and away. This can be great if we want to pull in the garage. Maybe we're at the parking places and we just want to get it parked. Now we're getting a lot more maneuverability in our vehicle. Now, another important dimension to keep in mind is our clearance. Being in the Mazda, we are having a little bit of a lower ride already. However, I don't think we're going to have too much trouble, but let's take a quick look and see. And at 11¼ inches or so to the very bottom, I don't think we're going to have too much issue, but keep in mind, as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, especially our hitch mounted accessories. So just keep in mind, if you're going over any steep terrain, maybe a driveway or something of the sort, that you do have just about a foot of clearance here. Now I'm working our way down the shank. We do have a 2-inch shank here, and as you can see today, we've gone ahead and thrown on our hitch pin alignment collar. Now you can pick this up at etrailer.com. It does not come included. However, it does make life quite nice. I think a lot of us know how much fun it is to fight with those hitch pin alignments. When we're getting in there, it's a lot of big pinch point. We're having to put our fingers in there. It's a whole trouble. So now, once we got this on here once, we can go ahead and tighten our collar down, and now when we reinsert our shank after we have it stored away, it's going to line itself right up. And then I'm spending less time on my knees trying to find it, fighting with it. And for the capacity that I get in, it is a very weighty guy with here. You know, definitely easy to move on your own. However, anything we can do to make our install easier is going to go a long way. Now taking a look at the very end too, we do have an anti-rattle threaded hitch bolt on here as well. And that's pretty standard around a lot of these bike racks you see. However, it's always going to be useful. As you can see, I'm shaking the whole vehicle by moving this frame. That's just going to get it to one system, so our bikes are going to feel play less. We're going to feel play less as we drive, make for a nice, smooth ride. So it's always going to be a great option for us. Well, like I mentioned, if you're looking, you can't really beat the swing away. I think it's awesome how much I can just get into that hatch. I can move these out of the way and actually get inside here. Especially if you have those heavier bikes, they can be a real pain to have to take on and off just to get into the back of our hatch. And with the quick access to the tilt-away feature, I mean, it has so much versatility, I don't know what to do with it. Well, I think that about does it for our look at the RockyMounts Backstage 2-bike platform rack on our 2016 Mazda CX-9. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement.